Hello and welcome to my newly updated Season 8 Wukong guide. I had previously made a Wukong guide in Season 7, but a lot has changed since then, so I've decided to create a newly updated guide. For those of you who haven't seen the first guide, I'll still go over some basic things, but the general focus would be on what's new with Season 8 Wukong. First of all, runes have been changed and lethality was buffed, and now there's a new build and new playstyle that Wukong has adapted, and surprisingly, now he's a pretty good champion. However, I am going to cover mid lane Wukong only with this guide. I feel like now in Season 8, Wukong is much better played as an assassin in the mid lane. Tanks with Aftershock that are roaming around in the top lane are dumping on Wukong, and I find that playing Wukong mid will negate most of the bad matchups he faces top lane, and will be able to face more favorable matchups in the mid lane against mages and other assassins. Not only that, he'll be able to utilize his good roaming potential from the mid lane, and generally it is just easier to carry games from the mid lane at the very current moment, which is why I am queuing mid over top lane in ranked. And quick disclaimer, this is not a beginner's introduction to Wukong. I will assume you know his abilities where you could just search up on LoL Wiki. But now I will move on to about me. Currently, I am a Platinum 2 player who peaked at Platinum 1. I was previously a hard-stuck Gold 5 jungle/ADC main in the beginning of Season 7. However, I picked up Wukong and instantly fell in love with him. I began spamming games with him and he carried me all the way up to Platinum 1 93 LP. Although I had played Sejuani for a while, most of Season 7 I have been one-tricking Wukong, picking him in every situation and every matchup. Although there are Wukong players that are higher level than me, I believe none of them focus on Wukong mid over top, and I am here to fulfill that job of covering mid Wukong. As Wukong mid, you have two choices for starting items, Corrupting Potion or Longsword start. I feel like both starts are equally good, but it's up to you which one you want to do, and it depends on your Wukong playstyle. Generally for me, I feel like Longsword makes you deal more consistent damage, but it makes you run more. Corrupting Potion gives you more mana sustain, and the burn helps with trading. So I'd go Longsword against a matchup where I could keep an extended trade, like against a mid with no good CC or early escape. However, against a mid laner with hard CC early or an escape like Zed or LeBlanc, I would start Corrupting. However, it is totally up to your playstyle. If you feel like no matter what, you don't really run out of mana on Wukong, go Longsword. If you're constantly using abilities and burning mana, use Corrupting Potion. Usually, you would want to get a Serrated Dirk on your first back for the early AD and lethality. Then you would build a Dirk into a Duskblade. This item is absolutely core in Wukong now. The Unseen passive is what makes Assassins so bursty this season. You need to be getting this item every single game if you want to be able to compete with other Assassins and one-shot squishies. Plus, this synergizes extra well with Wukong because you can proc Duskblade twice with your W. Wukong is also able to benefit from the AD and the CDR this item gives, and the ward clearing passive allows you to keep your warding totem if you wish. For boots, the only choices are Ninja Tabby and Mercury Treads. Mercs against CC and Tabby against auto attackers. After Duskblade, you want to go Youmuu's. This is another core to lethality item that gives you more damage, and the movement speed active allows you to chase enemies and increase your engage range. The out of combat movement speed also helps you roam. After Youmuu's, the third item depends. I usually go Black Cleaver as it gives you the much needed CDR and survivability. The tank shredding passive allows you to let your ADC kill the enemy tank faster, and if you're behind but have a fed Twitch or something, I would maybe even opt to go for this item after Duskblade. However, those situations are rare. Another third item choice is GA. I would go this item if a lot of team fights are breaking out and you find yourself dying early in fights. I love GA as you can use the effect to stall out time and bait out big enemy cooldowns, only for you to revive again. Also, being able to immediately stealth after GA is very valuable, and I have gotten a lot of kills this way. A third choice is Edge of Night. This gives you maximum lethality, but I would only get this item if I'm extremely fed. But if you find yourself getting peeled off by important spells, you can buy this to maybe negate some CC that would have stopped your engage. For the fourth item, I would get one of the third item choices that I have not gotten yet. And for my last item, I would go either Mortal Reminder or Lord Dominik's Regard. I prefer Mortal Reminder in most situations because I'll be going for the backline most of the time. But if you're against something like a 2 to 3 tank comp, then Lord Dominik's might be more optimal. Situationally, the only item I would deviate from this build is getting Hex Drinker against a hard AP lane. If you're behind against an AP, then I would get Hex Drinker usually after Duskblade and upgrade it last item. This will probably replace your fourth item choice. I might also get QSS if they have something like Malzahar. Also, make sure to grab red pots if the game goes late. As you can see, this Wukong mid build is heavily damage focused compared to last season, as to where a lot of Wukong players opted for 1 or 2 defensive items. This season, it is much better to go full damage. With this build, Wukong can generally one-shot any squishy with a full combo, even with E-auto Q when fed enough. And against squishy mid laners, this build is perfect. For runes, domination should always be your primary tree, as the rune traces from this tree is just way too good on Wukong. And for your keystone, you pretty much always want to take electrocute. Wukong can proc this keystone with a basic E-auto Q combo, and this adds heavily to your burst. Next, you will want to take sudden impact. This rune is so good with Wukong. Your E and W will activate sudden impact, and the extra lethality you get will help you one-shot squishies. Eyeball collection is really helpful, as since you rush Duskblade, you will be clearing a lot of wards, and this rune rewards you for each ward/champion you take down. Finally, you will want to take Relentless Hunter. And being in the mid lane, you will have a lot more opportunity to roam, and the extra out-of-combat movement speed allows you to do that and make more plays around the map. For secondary tree, Precision is usually the most optimal choice, with Triumph and Coup de Grace as your runes from this tree. Triumph is really helpful in the mid lane, as lots of players take Ignite, and say you're fighting someone and you kill the enemy, but you're about to die to their Ignite. But with Triumph, you survive and take the 1 for none. Coup de Grace is really good with Wukong, as normally your E auto Q will take someone under 40% HP if not one-shotting them, and using your ult afterwards allow them to take so much more damage. There are more secondary trees you can try out in the top lane, but in the mid lane I feel this is the best rune page, and I don't see any other way you can change these runes up. For summoner spells, Flash is always a must for obvious reasons which I'm not going to explain. You can either choose to take Teleport or Ignite for your second spell. Teleport is low risk and can allow you to pull off more roams. Ignite is better for winning lane and getting an early kill. You can choose depending on your playstyle, but personally, I take Ignite in a matchup where I feel confident that I can kill them easily, like against a Lux or a Zed. But if they have lots of defense against you, and you don't really feel like you can kill them 1v1 like against Galio or Lissandra, I would take Teleport, and instead of focusing on the lane, I focus on roaming. Overall in low elo, I feel like Ignite is a lot better because lots of mid laners make a lot of mistakes as they are not used to playing against a Wukong mid. But once you get higher and you feel like you reached your skill level, Teleport is a lot more useful. With the new runes and lethality buffs, you're going to be dealing an unusual amount of damage than Wukong previously dealt. The standard E-auto Q combo with Electrocute is still the safest and most reliable combo. However, with Duskblade, there's a new combo that deals even more damage. You E-auto, which procs Duskblade, then W, walk around in stealth for 1 second to reposition, then auto Q. W allows you to get another Duskblade auto, and this deals a lot more damage. However, if you're in melee range, using auto QE is much more preferable. It procs Electrocute, but it also makes your E deal more damage, since the Q reduces enemy armor. Usually you won't be able to use this combo, but if you ever get the chance when they walk into you at melee range, or if you're in an extended fight, use this combo. When you have your ultimate, just add the R right after each combo. You might think that Wukong might be weak against mid laners due to being melee and not having any poking skill. However, he wins pretty much every trade against mages and he's able to dump on most assassins in melee range. At level 1, you could do an E auto to proc Electrocute at level 1 and deal half of the enemy's HP. In the top lane, lots of the champions up there have defense against that, but not in mid lane. So usually you're able to just jump on a lot of champions at level 1. At level 2, you can level up W or Q, depending on the enemy. In a harder matchup where the enemy has CC, you can E-auto, then W to block their CC like a Xerath's done, then continue to go for autos. However, if you already harass the enemy down a bit, and you think you can go in for a kill, you can take Q and go for an E-auto Q. Generally after that, your trades are pretty safe. You win every trade as long as you stay on top of someone, which is a little difficult depending on how the enemy plays it. A good mage will try to poke you from distance and stay out of your E range, but if they ever step up, always take the chance to go in for an E. Wukong is able to get a kill at pretty much any stage of the lane depending on how the enemy plays, and although sometimes you might have to sacrifice minions early, but after you get your level 3, you can always trade safely. Against most assassins you win very easily, as they are also melee. Just constantly go for trades and you'll just end up winning. Just make sure to use your cloning block abilities. Usually once you get a lead, roaming will become a good option. Try to push out your lane and go bots or top. Wukong can gank very easily by decoying out of a brush, then E-auto Q ulting. However, you need to make sure you also get an objective off your roams too. Like if you gank bot and Inferno is up, try to get Inferno with your team. Or if you get a successful gank top, try to take top tower. Wukong can take objectives very easily with his E attack speed buff and his Q auto reset, so always make sure you are getting something out of a roam. However, you need to make sure you don't miss out on minions. Never roam when your minions aren't shoved into an enemy tower, or you will fall behind in EXP and CS, even if you do get a successful roam. As Wukong, your job in teamfights is to kill the enemy carries. Usually you'll want to stand to the side and wait for one of your teammates to engage, or one of the enemies to engage. Once the carries are focusing on poking and the engages are tunneled, you can decoy, pop Youmu's and Edge of Night if you bought it, and go in for an assassination. If, however, the backline has a lot of peel, you need to flank so that the peelers don't even see where you are. However, this isn't your job in every situation. If you are feeding but your ADC/APC is stronger than theirs, it may be more ideal to ult the enemy frontline and engagers to peel for your carries and help them beat down the tanks. Either way, Wukong will always have a great impact on teamfights, and how you play the fight usually determines whether your team wins or not. Thank you for watching my Season 8 Wukong guide. If you have any more questions, ask in the comments or add me on the NA server Read the Bible.